People seem to really love booing you right now. It's so funny because there's the moment when the crowd starts singing "You Suck" at you.
Yeah.
You're in the ring and you kind of like, oh,
yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, the first time I heard it, I was like blown away because I'm like, they figured out the cadence to do that chant to our music, which I didn't think existed. Like, I didn't think our music really lent itself to that, you know? I forget what town it was. I should remember. But the first time they did it, I was like, they figured it out. They're smarter than I am. And it's great because it's taken over. They've done it in every town I've been in for the last like 6 weeks, including everywhere overseas. They've got it. And so it gets louder every week. But it's so fun, man. And what a like honor to have that thing kind of passed on from Kurt's run. It's just another, thing I'm grateful for, to be like, to have the respect from them to that degree where they think that I deserve that it's very rewarding.
Well, you've had the comparisons to Kurt Angle your whole career. He's an Olympic wrestler. You're an Olympic wrestler. You're now getting the comparisons to a very specific Kurt Angle.
Sure.
You're compared to Perk Angle.
Perk Angle, yes.
Which is the greatest compliment ever.
Yeah. I mean, what an honor, first of all. It's so funny, man, when that stuff started coming out, because I'm like, oh, here we go. Now we're cooking. And like the week after it came out, for those that didn't see, we come back from a tour overseas. I can't remember where, but we went to one of my favorite coffee shops called Perk. And I was like, oh my gosh, did the stars align on this one? And I walked into the coffee, they got the big sign, and I'm like, I was there with Otis that day. I'm like, dude, take a picture of me with this stuff. And it just lined up so perfect, and people just latched onto it. And then like the coffee place sent me a big box of like all this Perk merch. And so like I got Perk shirts and bags of Perk coffee and stickers all over my house. And it just worked out really well. But all that to say, like, Kurt is the man, dude. He's been so cool throughout everything we've done with him. I had got to wrestle him, which was insane.
People forget that you guys had a match.
They do.
Yeah.
Like, there's still, when like some dream matches and stuff come up, some people are like, Kurt versus Gable. I'm like, well, it happened. Unfortunately, it was like a little later on, and like in his career, and I wish the stars would have lined a little earlier. But still, to be in there with Kurt, it was a dream come true.
Well, what was really cool about that match is before the match, you shake his hand.
Yeah.
And you go, you're a hero of mine.
So cool, right?
And then the match starts and it's like, okay.
Yeah. That's awesome. You caught that. And it was so true, because we're up the road from Mall of America a few miles. And I met Kurt there when I was like 13 or 14.
No way.
He signed my It's True VHS tape that came out from WWF back then.
This would have been like late 90s?
Yeah, it was late. It would have been 99 or 2000. So I was maybe 13 or 14, waited in line at Mall of America with my friend Kurt Pope, and met Kurt, shook his hand, and I said, someday I'm going to be in WWE, and I'm going to wrestle you. And because that is a true story, because most people don't know, man, before the Olympics or anything, like my dream was to be a pro wrestler. That's all I ever wanted to do. When I say my friend Kurt Pope that was there with me that day, him and I were like, dude, it was all we lived it. Pro wrestling. We traded tapes. We watched Japan wrestling. We watched indies, everything. That's all we did. We got trained together at a local independent promotion when we were 16 or 17. And like, we had the ring in the backyard. And we weren't doing flaming tables and all the crazy stuff. We were doing the intricate, like, technical wrestling, watching Johnny Saint when we're 15, tapes of Johnny Saint when we're 15 years old, and doing that stuff. And like, it's just, life is so wild, man, that the stuff comes back around. It's like, I got a picture sent to me like 2 days ago of 20 years ago of me and him wrestling, and I'm doing a German suplex or a chaos theory to him in my backyard.
Wow.
It's life is crazy, dude. I say that to everybody all the time. It is what you make it. You can do anything you want. If it is what you want, you'll find a way.